Today's video, we'll be taking another look at the Dell Dimension XPS T700R, this time though with the high-end GeForce 256 option for a video card.
We review old technology from games to old PCs, and don't forget the doors. Yeah, ancient electronics, we cover it all.
Alright, so we have looked at this machine before. Actually not this specific Dell Dimension XPS T700R, but I have done a video on this computer, but not this computer. So a while ago, several months ago, maybe a year ago, I don't remember, but I did a video on one of these machines. Now I've since sort of gotten rid of that machine. I passed it along to somebody. Don't remember what happened to it. I don't have it anymore. And I recently actually picked up another one, but this one had a very pleasant surprise. And by the way, I picked up it for $5 at a swap meet, and it kind of paid off because it had a very interesting surprise inside, which was a NVIDIA GeForce 256, which is pretty hard to find an expensive video card these days. So that was a nice surprise. And I did come to learn that was actually an option at the time in 1999. You could actually pick up this machine, and one of your options for a video card was the high-end GeForce 256. Actually, I don't know if I can confirm that, that the GeForce 256 was like a stock option that you could get straight from Dell. I did find some ads, like I found this ad here for the Dell Dimension XPS T700R. And if you look down, it says for the video card, it says it comes with a TNT2 M64 AGP card, which checks out. Actually, the last Dell Dimension of this type I picked up had that video card in it. And if you continue to look down under Dell recommended upgrades, it does recommend the TNT2 Ultra. So I've seen this ad and a couple other ads, and I didn't find any references to the GeForce 256 being like an option when you got this from Dell. But I also remember seeing somewhere that it was, so I'm not 100% sure. So if one of you guys watching this video knows, like if you got this stock from Dell and it would let you do the GeForce 256 as an upgrade option, let us know in the comments. Which is considered, the first GPU. So of course there were video cards well before that. Of course there were 3D accelerators well before that, but it is considered the first, GPU. Specifically, or graphics processing unit. So it's pretty important. I think this one's a little different. I think the one I had originally didn't have a zip drive in it. This one came with a zip drive. I don't know if it came like that or if whoever just added it afterwards. But anyways, I thought it would be an interesting opportunity to look at this machine again. I don't think anyone would mind. You guys seem to love these OEM machines anyways, especially the Dells. So we're going to take a look at this machine again, but this time we're going to look at it with the high-end video card option. I've never really looked at the GeForce 256 before, so we'll take a brief, not a super in-depth look, but we'll take a, kind of a specific look at that card, this machine, and we'll have a fun time. So if you're interested, come along, join me for this video, taking another look at this nice Dell and the GeForce 256. So because we did look at this video before, and I'll have a link in the description, and of course at the end of the video if you want to specifically look at this machine, again I have a specific video on this machine. So since this video, our focus is really the video card, we're just going to take a brief look at this machine. Now, I like the Dell XPS line. I think they all make pretty excellent computers, especially like Windows 9X computers. I love the aesthetics of these machines, and I like how their cases is it's a tower, but they're usually a bit slimmer than other towers, which makes it nice. Takes up just a little bit less space. So anyways, yeah, at the top on this one, again, we're just going to take a brief look here. We have a DVD drive. That might be the one that came with it, not sure. Then we have an empty bay here, and then zip drive. Again, I don't know if that was added by the previous user or when this machine was bought it was there. And if we go down a little bit, we have the 1.44 megabyte floppy drive in that little special area for it. Power button, nice little sort of side, like vent there. Adds a little flair to the case. And then, of course, we have our little badges. Pentium 3. This has a 700 megahertz slot 1 Pentium 3. And is that the made for Windows sticker and T or 98. And then I have added a NVIDIA GeForce 256 sticker. Of course, if you like these specialized stickers like the NVIDIA GeForce 256 sticker, they are available from Geekenspiel. So check him out. He has a lot of awesome artisan PC stickers. I don't know if artisan would be the right word, but he has a lot of really nice quality badge cases or case badges for these old retro machines. So check him out. All right, so I'm not even going to take a look at the back of this machine. Standard ports. Again, if you want more on this machine, watch my other video. So I'm going to open it up and we'll take a quick look inside. Alright, so here we are inside the Dell. Now, I'm not going to go into depth here on the board and stuff. We've gone over this before in a previous video where I did look at this same model Dell before, but I'll briefly go over things. Here in the base, obviously, there's the DVD drive, zip drive, floppy drive. It's a Dell from this time period, so they use a sort of, well, it looks pretty standard except for the aux connector, but it's like a proprietary power supply there. So take note of that if you have one of these and your power supply goes out. You're either going to need a Dell proprietary power supply for these boards, or they make little adapters too, and I've used them before, and they work just fine. On this machine here, I have put in 512 megabytes of RAM. That's the recommended max if you're doing a Windows 9X build. I believe this board, the chipset does support 700 and something. I think it's like 750 something megabytes of RAM. I don't really remember. But yeah, I have the 512, probably overkill. I did come with 512. I think it came with 128 when I picked this thing up. Little fan shroud over the 700 megahertz slot 1 CPU down there. This machine did not come with a hard drive installed, so I put in a hard drive, and it is not period correct. I think this is like 130 megabyte Western Digital hard drive, not the hard drive that came with this machine. And then we have our cards here. Let me remove this little bracket. Here is the GeForce 256. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have a couple other cards. We have a Sound Blaster. Then I have an Ethernet and a modem card. There was one more card that actually came with this machine, and it was this little Promise Ultra 66 hard drive controller card. And the hard drive did, boot up from it, and you could install Windows, and it saw it just fine. But in Windows, every time I would try to install the drivers for this card, I would have issues. It would just destroy Windows 98, which I have installed. I do not know why. I tried various versions of the drivers. I tried the official Dell driver, and it would just give me blue screens and issues. So I don't know if there's an issue with this card, but it was way more trouble than it was worth. So in the end, I just connected it to the motherboard hard drive controller. So this probably would have been a little bit faster, but it was just way more trouble than it was worth. I don't know what's going on with this card here, but whenever you try to install drivers, it just would freak out. So yeah. So all right. So that's basically how I got that machine, except for the exceptions that I had pointed out. So let's talk about the video card. This is the GeForce 256, and yes, this card did come installed in this machine. I bought this setup for $5, and it came with the GeForce 256. So here's our card in question. This is the NVIDIA GeForce 256 from the year 1999. These are pretty hard to come by these days. They're fairly expensive. So finding in a Dell for $5 was quite a boon. These go usually for well over $100 now, since they are considered the first GPU And like I said, they're kind of a collector's piece. Very powerful card for the time. Nothing too fancy here, just a VGA AGP times 4. This is the early version, so it uses SDR memory on board. It's either 32 megabytes or 64, and I think they came in both versions. I think this is the 64 megabyte version. There's chips in the back, but I can't remember 100%. Now later on, like I think in 2000, they did come out with a version that was faster that had DDR memory. I'd love to come across one of those one day, but yeah, this is the GeForce 256. I think what was revolutionary about it, I believe, is it did T and L on the card. T and L. Now I want to always say texture and lighting, but I think it means transform and lighting. But anyways, it took a lot of the graphics processing load off the CPU and onto the GPU, and I guess that's why this is technically, I guess, the world's first GPU video card. But as far as like other things, does it do anything particularly like special? No. I mean, there's not a particular reason you would want one of these, except for collector reasons. I mean, it doesn't use a particular API, so it's not like a Voodoo card where there's games that specifically supported the Voodoo and you can run them in Voodoo mode. This is just your standard video card. I think does like OpenGPL DirectX sort of video card. I wouldn't even say it's spectacular great for, like, say, Windows 9X, because I believe the drivers are a little bit later. Like, I believe the drivers for this thing do break a few older, like, Windows 9X games, where if you want compatibility, you're probably better off with, like, a TNT2 or TNT2 Ultra. This is obviously going to be faster, but overall in game compatibility, you're actually a little bit better off with, like, a TNT2. And since it doesn't use a special API or do anything particularly special, you know, if you're going for something in like Windows XP, or, you know, you may as well just use something more powerful like a GeForce 4 or a GeForce 2 or something. So there isn't like a specific reason, except maybe if you want to go like period correct and you want a really powerful video card for like 1999 or 2000 or something. But it's still cool, and it's still pretty powerful, and it is still historically significant as far as you know, computers go. So this would have been a pretty high-end option for 1999, which is interesting because when I picked this machine up, the person, I guess the guy's wife was there, and she said he used it for, it was like a school machine, or used it for like schoolwork or something. So it's kind of interesting that it looks like he went with the high-end gaming option, because it kind of feels like he was, you know, the previous owner was using it more for like work stuff-ish, but I could be wrong. But anyways, yeah, not too much else to say about this. I am going to reinsert this card, and then I guess we're gonna, this is just gonna be like a laid-back video here. We're just gonna take a look at this specific Dell with the GeForce 256. We'll just run some games, we'll run some benchmarks, you know, the usual suspects, and we'll just wrap things up. So here's the sound card, just to take a quicker look. It's a Sound Blaster Live. This is what came with the machine. I'm not sure if this came installed from the factory or if the previous user installed this themselves. I think this was an option. The last Dell I picked up, it had I think a Turtle Beach with a Vortex 2 chip on it, but I think this might have been an audio option from the factory, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, Sound Blaster Live. This is a really good Windows 9X sound card, EAX sound. I think there's some OEM versions of this that aren't, I think they're a little bit cut down, but this looks like a, I can't really tell just by looking at it, but I think this might be like one of the better versions of the Sound Blaster Live. But I like the Sound Blaster Live. For a PCI video card, it has decent DOS compatibility. It sounds good. It's Sound Blaster compatible. You know, it has EAX support. So I like these. They're really good for like Windows 95 and Windows 98. Alright, so that's about it for the benchmarks. I tried to run this demo, I guess. It's called something like the Zoological Garden, Dagoth Max Zoological Garden or something. I couldn't run it. It kept giving me like an illegal operations error. It was a demo, I think it was specifically to test the features of the new GeForce 256. Anyways, alright, so let's look at some short, some gameplay going on, a little bit of gameplay from different games from around that era, and then we'll just kind of wrap things up.
You have taken the lead.
We're going to pick up the cargo canisters right in front of us. I'll take the one on the right, you take the one on the left. Press T to target the first cargo canister.
Slow down to a crawl as you come in above it. Report on base. They are under attack. You have attacked a friendly craft. Keep your attacking once or you will be fired upon.
So here is Incoming, and this game is an example of a game that has some minor incompatibility issues. So when you watch this footage, if you'll notice some of the HUD elements, I think the little ship in the upper right-hand corner doesn't look quite right. But later on, we look at some footage that, from gameplay of this game. Well, you can see the radar down at center bottom. Like that doesn't look quite right. It looks like there's like elements missing. It just doesn't look right. And I think the little compass up at the top doesn't quite look right. But this, like I said, this is a little incompatibility issue that may start cropping up when you're, at least in Windows 98 games with the GeForce 256. Now, playing this game on like a TNT, TNT2, some other cards, slightly earlier cards with earlier drivers, it looks fine. But unfortunately, there are some games that will have some minor and maybe even some major compatibility issues when you get to the GeForce 256. So still a great card for Windows, powerful, and a majority of the games do seem to play just fine, but do keep in mind, with older games, when you start getting further back, you might hit some compatibility issues or graphical glitches.
Complete.
Follow waypoint marker.
The silo doors are closed. This is suicide!
Is it done, Yuri?
No, Comrade Premier. It has only begun.
Building.
Attacking. Order received.
Construction complete.
Moving
Unit promoted.
Conscript reporting. For the Union. Order received. Moving out. Comrade, for moving the Union. Moving out. Union. For Mother Russia.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Order received.
Structure garrison. Unit lost. Structure garrison. Unit lost. Structure abandoned. Structure garrison.
Waiting orders. Attacking. For Mother Russia.
Unit lost. The Pentagon is finally within our grasp. Destroy it immediately. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Reinforcements have arrived.
Moving out.
Superb, Commander. The Pentagon has been destroyed. Mission accomplished.
Alright, so there was our look at the GeForce 256 inside this 700 megahertz Pentium 3 based Dell Dimension. Let me know in the comments what you think about this card. What were your experiences with it? Did you get it when it came out, and like how did it change your experience at the time? Now looking back, I did play a lot of games from the time period. I don't think I pushed the card too much. I don't even think I played many games when I was doing gameplay testing that actually even used the TNL features. But you know, it was still, I still had fun. You know, playing the game. Like, let us know. Did you have any games that, like, when you got this card, like they suddenly, like, it worked really well? If you look here, the Comanche 4 benchmark, it's not doing so well. I actually expected a little bit better with this benchmark. I think it runs, I think it gets under like 20 FPS is like the average with this benchmark, but I think this game is from 2002 maybe, so not too unexpected, but I did kind of expect a little bit more. There is a more powerful version of the GeForce 256, the DDR version. I would love to eventually get my hands on one of those, but they seem to be quite uncommon. Of course, if you have a setup like this, and you're doing kind of a period correct thing, there's things I could do to obviously beef this thing up. I could put in a more powerful CPU, slot 1, so I could go up to like, you know, 1 gigahertz, and even more with certain adapters. So there are things you can do, but I don't know. Overall, let me know what you thought about the GeForce 256. It's neat and it's a collector's item, but like I said, it doesn't do anything special. It doesn't have like a special API like Glide with the Voodoo cards. I don't think there's any like particular games that are like quirky and they run best on the GeForce 256. And if you're running a Windows XP machine, I don't know why you wouldn't just put in something more powerful like a GeForce 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it serves its place if you're doing a powerful period correct build for like 2000 or 1999 or something, and you're going the NVIDIA route. Interesting card, cool card, but I don't know if it really serves any particular purpose other than being a collector's item. But anyways, let me know what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.